Hello, friends. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about waxing cold. See, one time the disciples asked Jesus to tell them or give them some insight about what was going to happen in the very last days. And one of the statements that Jesus made, believe it or not, which has kind of an interesting ring to it, is he said this. He said, "But because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." He said that in Matthew chapter 24. Because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. In other words, there's going to be so much rampant wickedness, so much misbehavior going on in the world. Jesus was referring to the fact that many people, because of all of the abuse and all of the pressure and all of the offenses that were taking place, would just harden their hearts and they would no longer operate and walk in the love of God. You see, we see another place in Romans chapter 12 where we have this instruction. It says to be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. Wow. You know, it's easy to get hard-hearted when there's so much anger and hatred and misunderstanding and abuse that's taken place. Yeah, perhaps as a Christian, you find yourself being singled out and picked on because of your beliefs. But basically, what we're seeing in the scripture is that we need to be aware of the fact that if we're not careful and we don't take steps to safeguard against this, that constant onslaught of evil, it may be coming through people, but we know the real source of that is the devil himself. He's motivating those people because he wants our love to wax cold. And so we're being encouraged to not be overcome by all of this evil, but instead to overcome evil with good. Well, how do we do that? Well, see, here's the thing about the love of God. In 1 Corinthians chapter 13, we see in the very first part where of the definition of what the love of God is and does and how it responds. One of the first revelations is that love suffers long. Now, when it gets to the end of that definition, it says that love never fails. So, in other words, when it's saying that love suffers or endures or puts up with all of the abuse and all of the evil onslaught that can come against us, that instead of being overcome by all of that and becoming hard-hearted and beginning to retaliate, we will suffer long. But now, here's the thing. That scripture actually promises that love never fails, okay, at the end of that. So what we have to understand is that love will never fail. Love will always overcome evil. It will never fail, but it doesn't succeed quickly in many cases. That's why it says it has to suffer long. So our part is to continue to encourage ourselves to not repay evil for evil or insult for insult, but to continue to overcome evil with good and don't let our love wax cold. Think about that this week. God bless you.